What do we got here?
We got some snacks.
Finale?
It's the finale episode.
All right, I'll buy
Have
it.
some popcorn. Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Let's get after it.
All right, let's watch it. Let's do this. Season 1, episode 10.
I know a little bit about who wins here.
Likes to finish last.
This is like a slap in the face right here.
We're in the last.
Pretty cool, though. Last episode of season 1 here,
Yep,
huh?
yep.
Who would have thought?
That's where it all began.
Pretty proud moment for all of us right here.
Huh?
Pretty proud moment for all of us.
Oh, yeah. No, that was definitely cool. You know, it's funny. I think if you asked me at the time,
I know what you're going to say.
you know, would it last as long as it did after we did this first season? I would have never guessed what we ultimately accomplished. You know, 13 years, #1 rated show on Nat Geo, and now here we are on YouTube making a go of it just as good.
And if I remember correctly, one of the producers told me that most reality TV shows fail within the first few episodes.
Yep.
As I thought was going to be the case with this.
Right.
And here we are.
So here we are.
How many episodes? We're well over 200, right?
I would think so. I don't know the total episodic count.
It's well over
That's a
200.
good question.
And we only did 10 episodes the first season. The next
Yep.
season we did like 15 or 18,
15,
and then we did
then
as many as
20.
20. And we did a lot of seasons where we did 20, including down in the Carolinas.
Last
Yep.
week of fishing. And the quota, which is the overall amount of fish
I think this was a feeler.
is almost used up. But I'm gonna put one more fish in the boat before this season's over.
Not a lot of fish around, just hopefully getting that one fish to come under our boat, being the chosen one, and getting the bite.
It's real important that we catch some more fish before
Now,
the
is
season
Paul
comes.
still on the bounty hunter?
Matters.
The game is on, and you gotta focus on putting those baits.
I still find it hard to believe we started the show with just 4 boats.
Yeah.
And then all the other boats that come in after,
Yep.
some stay, some go.
That's the urgency of having to catch.
Now, 4, how many boats? 5 boats we started with.
Was it 5?
5.
Yeah, it was 5.
So
that
we got
first
Kevin.
season, yeah.
I'm gonna catch a tuna.
Paul was smoking cigarettes back
Yeah.
then. He's not now. You still are.
Well, look, you and I, or our boats, are the only guys who were there from season 1, episode 1,
Until the end.
until the very end.
And it's not over yet.
Not over yet.
I bet somehow,
Our
some way.
adventure on YouTube is just beginning.
No, now the season's a changing. The change is on.
And I bet at some point in time, if this does well on YouTube, that we'll be back on some network.
Let's hope so.
If we're still here.
The way a quota works is really simple. The scientists make suggestions on what an acceptable level of harvest is. How many fish can we take out of the resource? That's what our quota is all about. When we catch our quota for the season, all the
All right.
Hey, what's going on with the quota now? We still have the same amount of quota, more or less, right? As we
have
did
the
back
same
then?
Quota, just the way, you know, I got it. You know, it's interesting.
Holy mackerel, Batman.
We basically have the same amount of quota overall. But in this season, we were allowed 3 fish a trip for our possession limit, right?
Now we can only fish.
Right? And
4
then
days a week.
ultimately it got is up to as many as 5 fish a trip. That became a big talk in one of the future seasons, right? And now here we are, flash forward to today, actually fishing, even though we're not filming, and we're at 1 fish a trip, plus only allowed to fish 4 days a week for the fish. And that's all because of the ease of abundance, right? That's what people don't understand. When we went from 3 fish or multiple fish to 1 fish, it's not because there was lack of fish out there. It was because the fish was so easy to catch. We had to slow down the fishery.
Too many fish coming in too fast, and the prices were terrible.
And you'd cut the season short, right?
Sure.
Because they were if they're easy to catch. And that's what people don't realize, you know, why it changes. It has nothing to do. The stock is healthy. But we do have that finite amount of pie that we can catch. And it's up to us as fisheries, as fishers and fisheries management to manage that quota to an attempt at managing that quota for the maximum economic benefit, right? And I think, you know, that kind of gets lost on the show
Sure.
because it's boring. Let's face it. Nobody wants to hear us talk about economics on Wicked Tuna. But in real life, you know, that's how we do things. We think about the health of the resource first, and then the economics to the fishermen second.
And what do we always say? A healthy fishery, as bad as this may sound or odd, is not always a good fishery.
Exactly. A healthy fishery is a profitable fishery.
Well, not too healthy of a fishery because then the prices are down.
Volume.
Volume.
I've loved millions of pounds of dogs for a dime or less.
The urgency of having to catch one more fish.
Oh, the marks are starting to get a little bigger, too.
They will. Still there. Watch out for this leader.
90 feet.
Okay. I'd love to be the first one to catch a fish this week. Then we'd be the ones to beat.
As far as work ethics go,
Yeah, we did 207 episodes. And in addition, we did the sit-downs, the real talk.
Yep.
Did a bunch of them there.
Yep. And this is kind of a revision of that.
Sure.
What we're doing here on YouTube is a rebranding or a recreation or,
Call it what you want.
yep.
To be fishing solo for giant tunas is kind of reckless. Typically, if I'm fishing alone, I fish with some extra safety gear. You know, I'll have an extra knife on me, I'll have an extra life preserver close by. Well, there's a lot of different feelings when you're fishing by yourself. There's a sense of solitude, there's a sense of nobody to bother you, nobody to annoy you. I feel all kinds of feelings except for loneliness. I don't have that. It's actually quite
Yeah, we did
challenging, and I-
207 episodes up here,
Of the original brand.
and then probably another 100 down at, what, 8 seasons down
Yep,
south?
the Outer
We weren't
Banks,
there
yeah,
for
I was there
everyone,
for
but
part of that.
yeah, that's another
It does matter.
15 a year.
Yeah.
You know, we did another 100 episodes down there, and then we did the real talk, and we did all the other episodes.
Yeah, the bonus episodes.
Favorite moments, biggest fish, worst moments. Oh, well over 300 episodes overall.
You know, I may not have got as many trophies as you for catching fish,
But
you know, in those bonus episodes, I did get a trophy for the most beeps in any one episode.
I do remember that.
My whole season.
All the factors aren't
That possibly could have been the tape measure episode, the Karma episode.
Possibly.
None of the other guys we're talking to are seeing them. It's all about environmental conditions. You know, definitely this late, it becomes a bit more of a challenge. There's just less fish
All right,
around.
well, here it is. The pressure's on.
Definitely a lot harder to
The last trip of the season.
You got to buy pencils.
So now's the time, boy. We really got to fish fast and see if we can get those last few in the door, because those are the ones that are going to be worth
Fish
the
fast.
money.
Exactly how do you do that anyway?
I don't know.
Slime's moved in.
You hope.
Leader, it looks clear enough.
You hope they
Really
bite.
pay attention. You can see what's building up on the line.
There's a lot of pressure at the end of the day. I know I'm doing well here, but
Yep.
it's pressure for me because I want to be the top.
Well, look,
pressure
we're
for
all
me.
in the same goal.
When the season's coming
When it's over, it's over for the winter.
Yes.
Now, yeah, we all kind of have other options, whether it's fishing or whether it's, you know, what you do, Dave. But when it's over and over, it means we can't go tuna fishing anymore. And none of us enjoy that.
No, we love to fish. That's why we do what
That's
we
how
do.
we wound up here.
It's nice making the money, but we love our jobs.
Yep.
Yep.
But everybody's under the gun
Yep.
here. You're
Yeah.
looking for your last fish, you know,
Yep.
to
Yeah.
climb up a little more. Paul's looking to get another fish here to help Billy
Yeah.
out and prove himself. I need another fish because I want to stay on top. You never know. I may have more fish, but somebody
yeah,
can
yeah.
come in with a big fish here, good money,
Yep.
and beat us.
see what happens here. We got a very, very exceptional.
Everybody's under pressure in different ways.
And hopefully Charlie's hungry today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we're going to get one.
Paul's attitude on board is unbelievable. He just absolutely feels like he's going to catch one every day, at least one.
Paul's still on a bounty hunter, but
Yeah.
I don't
You think
remember
he'll
what
make it? You think he'll make it to next season?
I don't know.
I honestly can't remember how it all plays out.
I don't remember.
Up in trick, too.
Cross him up, huh?
Well,
You
sometimes
think he'll make it to the end of the episode?
I don't know. Anything could happen, I think, with Paul, right? You know him better than I do.
I know Paul better than he knows himself.
110 feet.
Like I said, when Paul's good, he's good, but he can go down in the cabin and come back out from being in a happy mood to just, where did this come from? Just happens
Yep.
in a moment, short moment,
Down.
Yeah, that's this one right there.
and you
He's
can't
gonna
have that.
get bit right away.
It's up a little higher now.
Yeah, because he's following this heron. Here we go! Come on! Here we go! Go forward, forward!
Thought he was gonna throw that cameraman overboard.
We're gonna lose him. Tight, tight, tight.
Uh-oh.
You gotta turn the boat.
Barking again. He's barking again.
Oh, we're gonna lose him.
It doesn't help.
Help me, help you.
That's in another episode.
They went back.
We're gonna lose him. Let him go.
And the bounty hunt is on.
You gotta cut the anchor, dude.
Frank, the anchor's off. Just let him go.
Paul's calling the shots.
Let go, Scotty. Let go. Yeah, he's gotta be gone. Well,
Let it go, let it go.
There's nobody driving the boat.
Scotty, give me the broom. Give me the...
Hooper.
I hear you. Hang on.
Hooper drives the boat, Chief.
Let him go, let him go.
He is.
Oh, a scrub brush. Yeah, that'll help.
There it is. Good job, Billy. Good job.
We had a little issue with the...
A lot of tension there.
Caught on something under the boat. I was able to lean over and use the deck brush and push it down and get it free.
Nice and gentle. Easy with the leaders.
Hopefully the line isn't damaged.
Paul's gonna straighten him out. Don't worry, Dave.
We gotta go easy.
Yeah, because that line's gonna be...
You're gonna be ready with the throttle, Bill. You're gonna.
This was good for Paul, though. He finally found his home. He's got his own boat now.
Yeah. No, it was.
The guy that drives that boat position.
He might have went through a few mates, but now he's got someone
high enough yet.
outside of the show, outside of filming,
Yeah.
and they're doing pretty well.
The driver catches that fish.
I don't really know what goes on the boat now because I don't see it as we're looking at it here, but I think he's doing okay.
It seems like it. It seems like he's doing okay.
Love this. Awesome.
Scott.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah, get him, Scott.
Where's the
Get
team?
him.
Right here. Forward, Billy, to the right. Just a touch. Good. Neutral. This is the bounty hunt at its best. People want to count us down and out. I'll tell you what.
It's tough to watch.
I got color. Back up. Color. Color. You see him? Come back. Come back, Bill. Back. Forward. Forward. Go, go,
You just
go,
told me to go back.
Go, go. Neutral. Neutral. Whoa. Hit him. Right there. We got him. We got him. That cavitation was just, I thought you ran him over. We got him.
They're all buddy again.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy again.
That was pretty good though. That wasn't
That was good.
wasn't off
That-
the charts.
That was
all right.
well executed. Bounty hunter with the first fish
And it was fun.
of the final episode.
We appreciate it. You're an animal on the run. Good job.
I hope we get one. I don't remember.
You got your share. Pipe down.
Need more. It's never enough.
Big one?
Pretty big.
What's the scoop? I'm heading that way.
It was pretty easy.
How deep?
What's that, Ralph?
Yeah,
Dave listening?
of course.
He got his balls right now.
Don't tell Dave.
Of course Dave's listening.
He didn't
He's
get on that
flipping. Told you he ain't dude. It's just our turn. It was our turn.
Maybe your buddy Ralph's gonna come pay you a visit now in this episode.
Yeah.
He's still solo here, right?
Oh yeah, no, he canned Pirate this morning on the way. Pirate showed up and he told him to go home.
All at the same time. I have to set the baits.
It's not so easy fishing by yourself. It's not an easy thing to do.
He fired his crew and now he's complaining about having to do himself.
Yeah?
I gotta re-rig the baits. I gotta.
Are you surprised?
Okay, Ralph.
And I gotta keep the deck clean and secure and safe for when we get hooked up. So, you know, what typically takes 2 to 3 guys, I'm doing it all. At least on this boat, I know that the boat doesn't have to stay at the dock if it doesn't have a mate. The boat's proven to be able to kill them with just me on it, and we don't let mates hold the boat to the dock. Sometimes
It's not easy fishing by yourself, though. And it's
No,
dangerous,
not.
too.
You know, we've all done it. It ain't easy.
There we go. No hard merge. No merge.
Anybody? Yeah, we did today, Dave. Come in, pick me up.
Yeah, what do you need? You can fish over there?
No. Don't go that far. We marked one.
Yeah, did you hear Bounty Hunter landed one?
Yeah, it's a big boy there on top.
Yeah, I guess they're doing pretty good with your old deckhand over there.
is that a little poke right there?
I think so, Dave. I think so. Well, Paul caught one today, and you didn't.
This is true.
In spite of what you might say, it really
This is true.
when, you know, somebody got one of those last fish for the
Man, your
season.
hands do move a lot when you talk. You know that?
You don't they?
Head
Yeah.
on loser ledge.
Well, you know what they say? What do you call an Italian with a hand behind his butt, tied behind his back?
A mute?
No, an Italian with a speech impediment.
But we're gonna see what tomorrow brings.
There we go. He's big enough. Right? Right he is.
All right, got a little
I'll
stiffy
take it.
there, Paul. He's got a little stiffy there.
Quite well going to Japan.
I feel spectacular. It's always good to get him. He was a little hard because he went under the boat, but we worked it.
They got him though. Not the biggest, but they got one. We don't have one.
Nope.
It's the dust.
This is the last week of the year for tuna fishing. Want to end it on a good note?
This is helping Bill get out of the hole right here.
Yep.
This very well could be the last trip for the boat.
Yep.
This winter's
Help him
coming.
dig out of the hole.
We ended it on a very good note.
That's a good thing.
Unbelievable. But we did.
And this is it. This is their last fish, right?
Yep. Last fish of the season. 249. Not bad.
Was a good fish.
Decent little paycheck.
Season, we got the first fish.
Oh, wow. They even mentioned expenses in that. And I just noticed that. I don't think they did that in future seasons.
No, they did not.
Once you start hooking again,
They did it throughout
They
the
should
episode,
have.
so yeah.
bad days. It's just the way it is.
Everybody's happy. Oh yeah, that's right. Donna wasn't on the boat here.
Yeah. Not for that one. Well, somebody's got to go to work so Bill can go fishing for a living.
This is true.
I don't know if it's coincidence or not.
Someone in that family needs a real job.
The catch rate's gone up. I can't believe this has turned around the way it has. It's fantastic. It's even better that Dave on .com hasn't caught anything the last few days. And
Thanks,
we
Donna. Thanks, Donna.
Even John,
Yeah,
boy, you get it
Everybody
from everywhere. Huh,
jumping
Dave?
on the .com wagon. Tate wagon.
Season. It's like going out with a blaze of glory. The momentum will carry off until next year, and it's really exciting.
Not terrible right there.
Yeah, yeah,
Good little paycheck.
yeah,
907 for the week.
yeah,
15 grand.
yeah. It'll do, it'll do.
And we got nothing going on.
Last few days here, Billy got a fish. He really needed it. Paulie's took what I've taught him, and he's obviously helping Billy catch a few fish. He's getting bailed out right now, for sure. I'm a very competitive guy, and Paul and I have history, and they got a fish on the boat, and we don't, and it's bothersome. This is not easy for me, and I got to make something happen here. And I'll come back out and, get up there back to number one.
It's not over yet. Yeah, it's tough to watch that.
Yeah, it is.
Paul's gone.
It's hard watching this. No, there's nothing worse than when you're out there trying to catch one. That's why I always like the radios off, You can't hear what other people are doing. You can't see what other people are doing. If you
But
get
you're
fired
wondering.
up for it,
You're wondering sometimes.
That don't bother me. I can focus on what I'm doing if you guys are doing whatever.
A lot of tide. Trying to get tight on. I know Billy and Paul caught this big tuna, and we have yet to catch anything this week.
It's tough when you're not catching fish.
Yep.
You get a fish, you're gonna make money. So right now, it's about.
I think it was you or Paul.
Definitely not the money now.
I think it was you or Paul who said it. Half of this battle is a mental game.
It is.
You know what
It really
I mean?
is.
You gotta keeping that good attitude and staying focused.
We're gonna keep going until they tell us to stop.
And you play head games with yourself. Am I in the right
Yeah,
spot? Am
yeah,
I using
yeah.
the right bait? Am I at the right depth?
Yeah.
Am I using the right
Yeah,
size leader or hook?
No, that's why
You question everything you do.
I'd rather not know anything other guys are doing. Because then I can make the best of what I'm doing. Start hearing about other stuff. All I do is get distracted.
A handful of days left, for all I know. The government.
People don't realize how much is involved in not catching a fish, but getting the bite.
Yeah.
Catching the fish is separate from getting the bite. Getting the bite is the hard thing. So many things that go into it. Yes, a little bit of luck. But
Yeah. There's a lot of steps that lead into that bite. A lot of steps have to be taken.
there certainly is.
Some areas we haven't been in over a month, and see if I can find those big guys again.
And this is the hard merge when the back was open. You had no transom, right? It's all closed up now, right?
Oh, yeah. No, we were still lobster then, so I used the open stern to set the gear off the back.
What a mess. What a mess. We've been here over an hour now, and we're still not even fishing yet. A wind against tide, lines running up to the bow, the boat's swinging. So basically, we just wasted an hour. We came out an hour and a half too early. Frustrating. These conditions.
There's nothing like having horrible conditions.
Yeah.
We are swinging.
Now it's pouring.
It's great when you get out there, you put your baits out, and everything goes off the stern.
Yeah.
This is like a slap in the face right here.
Oh, you got Sandro scrubbing the cooler now with a toothbrush?
Can it? What else?
Can't make it feel too comfortable.
If anybody thinks this is easy and they want to get a boat and try giant fishing, good luck. Hey, you have to know that truck driving school?
If I was your deckhand, I'd be using your toothbrush to do it.
What's the matter?
The birds are bad today.
Yeah, just try to keep it sprinkled, Jay. If we get the hook baits, we'll use the bombs.
Look at all the birds. And that's because we're throwing chum.
Good thing about the end of the season, when it does start to slow down like this, if you could be one of the guys to land one of the last few fish that are going to come out of the season, you can do really well with that fish. You can get even more than what the regular fish would be worth.
That's true. Those last couple fish can pay
A little
very, very well.
foreshadowing here. Sounds like somebody's gonna get a nice fish.
Maybe.
Jay,
Yeah.
if we mark, right, dump that whole cooler from yesterday. Now what we have is a little bird problem here. So we'll see if we can take care
Very
of it.
deterrent.
Look at them all.
Very deterrent.
It's
go.
a
Take that.
momentary fix, temporary fix.
Oh yeah, but enough to get the rigs out. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Quiet as a mouse. Obviously never stepped on one.
I like that, though. I gotta say, that's pretty
For those
creative.
shear waters, it's about the only thing that works. Seagulls are pretty easy to scare, but them shear waters.
Be a bigger bird than them. Really does work. Tried to teach Pirate how to be the dominant bird, but he'd rather pet him. It's a good time to catch one if you could find one. The Japanese sense that it's coming to an end and they may not get another Boston Bluefin till next year, so drives the price up. You always finish one year thinking next year's gonna be better, so that's what gets you in.
Did Pirate come back on the boat after this season?
I can't remember, Dave, honestly. He must come back.
I don't think this was the end.
He must come back.
Might be for this season, but
Yeah. No, I know. For this season, he's done. He must come back for future seasons. Pretty sure he does.
This time of the season.
And I honestly can't remember.
Mainly because the weather's getting colder, the fish are just starting to migrate out, the bait's starting to thin out, and just each day we come out, we're just not seeing what we saw the day before. Just horrible fishing right now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sucks. Half-ass fishing. Pull that thing in.
we're not battling fish. We're battling poor conditions here.
This sucks. Joke.
Now look, we're the ones complaining.
We all complain when those lines are going up,
Yeah.
up into the anchor line, Dave. None of us like fishing like that. But you ever
it's
notice?
terrible. It's awful.
Get a lot of bites then.
What?
When those, you get less bites when everything's going smoothly, right? At least for me, I always get bites when I'm getting all pissed off
I
and
don't.
the lines aren't going out right.
You're crying one on.
to be one of the biggest paychecks of the season.
We've all cried fish on.
Well, we have 18 miles to go to home. Maybe we'll go up the bay tomorrow. We'll go up in Ipswich Bay and see if we can come up with something better looking than this. We're gonna take it as it comes here, a little bit at a time, but we may be nearing the end of
Poor hard merch.
2011.
It's true what the old saying is, you know, sometimes it's darkest just before the dawn. So we're gonna head right back out there tomorrow, because that's what
Sometimes it's darkest before the dawn.
Truth.
Sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
Once they say the early bird gets the worm, but it's the second rat that gets the cheese.
which is obviously a little further to the north and a little more.
What, you go up into the bay here?
Apparently up in Ipswich Bay.
You got a hot report?
A lot of fish there this time of year.
Historically speaking,
You gotta be in it to win it.
we should catch them there.
The last few days.
If there's one fish in the ocean left to catch, I want to catch it. I know the end's near, and it's all about the Odyssey. The hell with bounty hunting.
Oh, it's just the three of us left. Us and
The
Ralph.
last round of the fight, everybody's got their own little strategy.
We're gonna get Excalibur on deck today. It's the first rod I ever owned. We're gonna break him out today and give him a chance to play. Let's see if he's still got it in him.
Now, what month was this? Doesn't it sound like October now?
Yeah, it's October. It was late in October when we wrapped up this first season.
We got pretty weather today, so we're gonna venture a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think the whole month of September when we were filming this, we filmed and
Wasn't
few,
very good.
if any, fish were caught.
We were kind of panicked.
Yeah, well, yeah, not us, but like LA was
Production,
kind of panicking. They spent a bunch of money, and we weren't sending no footage of any fish being caught.
And there we are telling them how many fish we catch, and we couldn't
Right,
catch
right,
anything.
But it all came together at the end.
Sure
I think,
did.
if I remember.
The quota, there's probably only days left in the fishery.
But the bean counters were nervous.
Yes, they were, for good reason.
So they're not gonna get
They thought we were full of
Boston bluefins until the 2012 fishing season opens. We want to get a fish. If we can pull one out of it, he's going to be worth big money.
There's no such thing as tuna. It's a government conspiracy to get you to buy fluorocarbon
But this is the place that
for $150 a pack.
that fish dressed out to be 852 pounds. Just that solid piece of meat that we sold. That fish brought us 5 miles, I believe, and that was a hell of a fight.
We had right fish right up to
one time, one fish. He said 5 miles. We went 18 miles
Yeah.
with one fish from start to finish.
We let them go 14 miles.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. You get those, and it's never a big one though. You know what I mean?
No.
It's those 500 or 600 pounds.
Dresser.
But it makes sense when you think about it, right?
Those are the young bucks.
Those right? They what? They live to be 35 years old. Those 1,000 fish, those ones, those
Coming
1,000
easy.
pound fish roll over and die after an hour, right? They just say, I give up, kill me. But those 500-600 pound fish,
Studs.
and what happens to all of us, you see it every time. Those are the ones that go 10 or 12 hours. Those are the teenagers. They got stamina.
Paul and I, a long time ago, we caught 2,000 pounders back to back.
Yeah.
First one took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We got on the anchor, hooked up right away,
Yeah.
and the next one took 5 minutes. That's it.
Right.
We had over 2,000
I've
pounds
had
of fish.
those 5 and 10 minute ones too. Well, yeah, and then you get a crazy one.
Yeah.
I really love fishing by myself. There's nothing better than hooking a giant tuna fish and just
He
having
loves being by himself.
a personal thing. You know, we're attached to each other for hours on end. You know, I've lost some and I've won some, and it's just an incredible, incredible challenge to catch one of these things by yourself.
I'd like to see a couple marks, man. Marking.
I would never fish by myself ever again. It's too risky.
When you're fishing solo and you get hooked up on a giant tuna, you're in for a long day's work.
Pulling the boat back.
There's nothing better than
Well, you know.
fish being
You know,
one-on-one and just having
Ralph is tough.
between me and him.
He's tough to work for.
Yeah.
Personality of the fish, and the fish gets to know
I always
you.
tell my guys. I always tell my
look,
guys.
You got to give him credit. He's out there making it happen. I give him credit for that. But yeah,
you need someone on the boat. You catch more fish when you're with somebody
for
else.
safety, more efficiently, and he's making it happen. But
Does your arm get tired? Yeah, your arm gets tired, but thinking about that $5,000 bill down there, it's a good motivation to keep cranking.
This is not easy. This is not easy.
At the end of the battle, any mistakes...
And then getting that fish in the
boat. It's a lot of
boat.
work. We've all done it. It's a lot of work to catch him alone.
Uh-oh.
Cut, go to commercial. I love saying that to my clients, when we're on a charter and you actually got a fish. And then because they love yelling, oh, we got color, we got deep color. And then the first thing I yell is, cut, go to commercial. It goes over great with the clients.
This relationship, this tug of war, this time of proving to each other who we are. Then it's a matter of who gets worn out first. Typically with the boat and the rod, the fish loses.
And the harpoon.
He's got him.
Got him.
No
Buy his
thanks.
onesie.
I'll never do this again. I'll never fish solo.
Yeah. You've done it though, right? At some point, we
Yeah,
all
but-
have, right?
A few times I've done it and been out there, I couldn't enjoy it because I'm always like, what if?
Yeah. Look, I did it. I did a Platts trip it was on the hard merchandise. I was fishing solo. I got a fish. Went back up the bow to put the anchor line back over.
I know what you're going to say.
I got it tied in, and I fell off the boat.
That's it.
Right?
You're lucky.
On there alone.
No mates needed.
And that was it was the Angelica Joseph, right? So that boat had the stern. If it was a hard merchandise, it would have been a big deal, right? That was the old wooden boat the year before she sank. I treaded water for about 45 minutes before I could hold on to the boat. I could reach in the scupper. Finally, I managed to reach up through the scupper and get one of the rod safety lines, and I made a loop
for your foot
that I was able to get up over the rail. But I hung on to the back of that boat in the water with the fish hanging on the other side.
Was that your last time doing that?
No.
Lesson not learned.
Look, my problem was my guys made money. And then getting them to the boat after you give them a paycheck
was the problem.
Not all, not Joe and not Jay, but these were when the boys were still in school. Not the boys, but regular crew. Sometimes the worst thing you can do is you give them a few $1,000 paycheck, and then they disappear.
I'll get your gloves in a sec, Jay.
What time yet?
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Yeah, I remember though, it was stepping over the rail, like the way it all happened.
A lot going through your head when you're sitting there in the water.
It was good though. Like the boat, it wasn't rigged properly, but I did have the line on the side cleat. It just wasn't, through the chalk in the bow, right? So, the boat at least stayed there beside me, and I was beside the boat. I knew I just had to figure it out, but and that boat was high.
Well, you're lucky.
If it was the merch with no stern, I would have been able to flop right in.
You're lucky to be able to tell that story. There's a lot of stories not told, and they're no longer with us.
You're right. No.
Got ice. Nice harpoon shot.
A lot can go wrong.
Get on there, Jay.
Woo!
Yeah, that was fishing on Platts too.
And then you got to drive home.
Well, but we had, I think it was 2 or 3, so we were going out there to make it worth it. And it was the wrong time to be fishing Platts, but I went out there on a whim, and it was easy fishing though. It was my second or third trip. That's why the crew had a pocket full of money. Every time they came through, the rod would bend. It was as good as it gets on Platts. And again, I was in that old wooden boat, and it was open 7 days a week, so we were just going out there piling the 3-on one every trip. And then the crew didn't show up, and I was like, well, they weren't gonna last forever.
It's a tough call to make. It really is.
It is.
Nighty night.
on there, Dave. 11. Come in.
Everybody's got a fish but me.
Oh,
What's going on
poor
here?
Dave. Poor Dave.
It's definitely a big one.
How does that
Poor
feel
Dave
right
on
now?
the
How does this feel?
.com. Poor Dave and the .com.
How am I supposed to pay for my vacation house?
You know it. Overnight if I have to.
All right, stay safe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling bad for myself.
Down. Up slow.
It's a nice fish right there.
Okay.
That's 400, 500 dress.
415, I believe. 415.
Look, it's got ice in him.
Nice job, Ralphie.
Trying to cheat again?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. All you guys are like that.
That particular fish, after going through the ups and downs of the season,
Just over 400.
mishaps and the catching and losing and then the not catching.
That is pretty good, though. He gets a 400-pound by himself. Got to give him credit.
Yeah.
And putting a couple bucks in my bank for the wintertime.
All right, lift up on that slow. There you go.
Right down till the end, it was crazy, but fortunately tonight, it was one for us.
Nice little piece there. Look how round that fish is.
Yeah, it does look like a
The
quality.
buyers love round fish.
The excitement and the risk and the danger.
But even with a round fish, it doesn't mean it's a good quality, but they like the shape for presentation.
That's what fuels everything that I do.
Put them in the slush tank, get them cold.
Ordinary guy, I'm an extraordinary guy, and the more dangerous it is, the more interested I am.
Back then, we were shipping a lot of these fish. Remember
Yeah.
when the exchange rate was good?
Yeah.
Now we can't ship fish.
Yeah.
Exchange rate, you can, but exchange rate is very high.
I think these days a lot more wind up on the domestic market
a
than
good
they
thing.
do that Asian market.
Gamble paid off. I'm happy with the results. I just hope there's a good, strong market. And get the big.
Where's my fish?
All set back there?
No fish for the .com.
Heads up, Dave, here it comes.
Yep.
Wow, I love these fish.
A fine-looking specimen. Fish ate two.
That was Patsy, right? Patsy,
Patsy,
there?
yeah, and Godfrey.
Beauty. That's a beauty right there.
Is he still around, Patsy? I don't even know.
He's still around.
Is
I
he
haven't
really?
seen him in town, right? But he's still alive. I talked to somebody who, he's pretty old now, you know.
Oh, sure, he's old right here.
Paychecks of the season. A solid 800 pounds.
Amazing how through time different generations come in
Yeah,
and different generations go out.
yeah.
He likes the core. He likes what he sees, so I'm pleased with that. The color is decent.
That's a nice
Pretty
fish right there.
good.
Put right in the box and ship right to Japan. Hard merchandise.
How big
never
was this one?
stops.
What? I don't know. Show the weight. What was it? 400.
800. That was an 800-pounder there.
Was it? No, it wasn't.
Well, for you.
400 pounds. I don't know.
And there's poor Dave.
Oh,
There he is.
Dave has to fish late.
There's the doom and gloom music.
You've had plenty of days with an early fish. Suck it up.
You know that? Nobody knows where we're at.
I don't think we catch one here now, if I recall.
Oh, would you like to repeat that?
Ralph Marciano.
You heard it.
Competition. I just hope we catch one more by the end of the season. Just one more. So I could rub it in their face.
I didn't say that.
The best there ever was or will be.
Put a stick out. We got our first fish here right now. That's a good sign.
No,
Whoa, whoa.
Billy Monty was top dog. Billy Monty was top dog in his day too, you know.
He was. He definitely was. He caught a lot of
I
fish. back
know,
then.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Billy though.
Hey.
He's
Get up, start it.
Second that rod bent, I knew we were hooked on a big, big son of a bitch.
This is what it's all about. He's hooked in the roof. He's got to be. Stay on the controls. Most epic fish in the world right here.
Let's go.
I know, they always cut the
I
commercials.
want to see what happens.
Just
here.
when we're hoping you were going to lose them.
You were. Everybody else too, probably.
You know, any minute now, we're going to hear the entire country gasp in disbelief. Oh, we got him.
Most epic fish in the world right
Or they're going to be cheering when we
What a
lose them.
shame.
The fish come up that close right in front of me, so I knew we were in for a big fight with a big fish.
here. Neutral. Neutral, color. Unbelievable, unbelievable power. Unbelievable.
And this is a big fish.
Neutral.
What's so unbelievable about it?
Unbelievable that we're probably going to lose him. I really don't remember what happens here.
One more pinwheel. Get ready to back. Back, come on, boat. Back, go. Go. Neutral. And that's forward.
Oh, that's painful to watch right there.
Now, here's where luck plays a role. You can't tell me luck didn't play a role right there. Come on.
We didn't get him.
You've seen it go either way.
Oh, we got him.
You've seen it go either way. Luck played a role right there.
That was bad luck.
You got a second shot. That was luck.
That's luck. We don't have him yet, though.
I don't care how good you are. That was luck if you get that second shot. Because we've all been both sides of that.
Oh, yes. And will continue to happen.
What are you doing there?
Look at that spaghetti.
I know. What are you doing over there? You're making it a laundry
Making a
curtain
pasta,
or
little
something?
spaghetti. Yeah. And that's a big fish.
Woohoo! Hey, that's a jumbo right there, pal. That's what it's all about. That's why I'm addicted to tuna fishing. Hey.
Is this 1,000?
I've already had 2.
Don't forget, this is a big fish, but on top of that big fish, we have 2 over 1,000. Don't forget that. Is that luck? Is that luck?
Yeah, I saw him get weighed though. You had 550 pounds ice pack in each side once.
But we sold that ice. We sold that ice.
If you were tournament fishing,
Look
they
at
put
the
you
size
in
of
jail
that
for that
fish.
much ice in the middle of the fish.
You don't go out like the rest of the boats didn't go.
Can't wait for the tape measure
Lock you
episode.
up for that in the tournament circuit.
2,000 pounders.
Big one, huh?
I think like 3 of your fish added up to 1,000, maybe.
Oh no, we caught our share of big ones.
Pretty excited to get to the dock and get him on the scale and see what he weighs.
Look at this.
We'll go for the quality.
Look at the size of this.
Go for the quality.
Look how big this one is.
Quality, not quantity.
Good. Up.
What a way to end the season, huh? Oh, look at the size of that.
From the bottom, it's a lot of work.
Even though this is big, this is small compared to those other
See the ice
2,000
pack
pounders.
in there? See the ice pack in there?
See how big that fish is? Fish can be 700.
680.
So pretty happy about that. That was a good quality.
How big was it?
On top of it, so we made a lot of money.
No,
with it.
this is a 1,000 pounder. Wait, what?
1,030 pounds.
Yeah, this is one. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Another 1,000 pounder for the season.
Hey, remember, that's not the only 1,000 pounder. I just want to remind you, because you're forgetful these days, that we did have another fish over 1,000 pounds.
Right.
What a way to end the season.
It was a good way to end.
Is that luck?
I'll give
Is
you
that
credit.
luck?
It was lucky you got the second shot on that fish.
But is that luck having the second 1,000 pounder? Not 1, but 2,000 pounders.
No, but it was luck when you got the second shot of that fish.
Call it what you want. Well, we
That
caught
could have
him.
gone either way. That could have gone either way like a roll of the dice. You could have lost that fish just as easy.
We didn't have to measure that fish.
That's all right.
I think you had to measure quite a few of your fish.
No, we didn't have to measure many.
Little fish. Little fish.
Joe's gonna have what he needs. The same thing holds true for Eva. Everything's coming together nicely.
It's been a great season. Some did better than others. You know, when the 3 of us were together, myself, Paul, and Sandro, and we were definitely a force to be reckoned with. Paul going to come back? Time will tell. We'll see where that takes us.
Next season, I could go back with Dave. I could go back with Billy. I will tell you this, whatever I do.
No.
Maybe you did. Well, if you only caught 2, yeah, because...
I'm the best.
Well, we didn't see it. We didn't see the episode where I had another 1,000.
Oh, no, that's right. No, you did, because it was 1,015, and that one was 1,030.
Oh, really? So we did.
So that was, no, Paul was with you.
Was Paul with me?
Because it was in an earlier episode, and the Christina, you were getting into it with Kevin on the Christina. So Paul, yes, was with you for one of the 1,000 pounders.
But it was only 1,015.
So Paul-
But it was only 1,015. This was 1,030.
Paul caught that other 1,000 pounder. I think that's how it worked.
But this fish was
So you didn't get
1,030.
two.
This fish was a
Paul
lot
got
bigger.
the other one. Paul got the other one.
Of course, everybody's going to say
Paul
Paul's
got the other one. Paul got the other one.
Pretty cool seeing the end of this, huh?
Yeah, no, it was.
10
What a
years?
great season. It's really sentimental. It was that first season. And who'd have thought, that would have turned into what it did. 13 seasons, #1 in the National Geographic Channel, and then boom, here we are now, revisiting the whole thing on YouTube.
It's pretty.
You gotta admit that's pretty cool.
It's amazing. I mean, this is 10 episodes out of well over 200. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But you know what? Congratulations, by the way. A solid placement at the top, Dave. I've said it before. I'll give you credit where it's due.
Thank you very much. This was a lot of fun, sitting here with you, getting to watch what we did some 15 years ago, season 1.
It was pretty cool. What can I say, Dave? It was real and it was fun, but it hasn't been real fun. We'll see you later.
Until the next episode. See ya.